But first, House Republicans have voted to formally begin an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. The vote passing this week after previously skeptical moderate Republicans got on board to begin the investigation. Every single Republican voted in favor, and all present Democrats voted against it. Top Republicans again claiming they have enormous amounts of evidence against the president.
Our investigation has revealed how Joe Biden knew of, participated in, and benefited from his family cashing in on the Biden name around the world.
This is a story as old as the hills. You got a politician who does certain things. Those actions then benefit his family financially, and then there's an effort to conceal it and sweep it under the rug.
If you want to talk crime, bribery, co-conspirator to being to FARA violations, and we can go on and on.
Now, earlier this week, I went through every major piece of evidence that Chairman Comer claims implicates Joe Biden. And at least from my perspective, when you really dig into it, seemed to be innuendo, maybe, could be, but with no credible evidence of any wrongdoing by Joe Biden. And Republican moderate David Joyce was on this show immediately after the vote, and even he seemed to agree that they don't really have anything at this point. As a former prosecutor, what exactly is the high crime or misdemeanor that's being investigated?
Well, that's a good point, and I haven't seen any of that today, but I'm looking forward to the investigative committees saying, I have 3 different committees that are all focused on this. Okay, put up or shut up. You either have the evidence or you don't.
But if they don't even know what the potential crime is, what are they investigating, right?
Well, some allegations are that he abused his office when he was potentially the vice president, or abused his position during that time to help his son's further his son's business dealings. But the fact that he might have a son who has issues with drugs and alcohol and had some business issues doesn't make it an impeachable offense.
Joining me now, Anthony Scaramucci. He served as White House Communications Director for President Trump for 11 days, and he laid out how many seconds was it?
It was 954,000. I mean,
it's a lot of
makes
seconds.
It sound a lot longer.
He is also the host of the Open Book podcast. Tudor Dixon, former Republican candidate for governor of Michigan and the host of the Tudor Dixon podcast. And Elie Mystal, the justice correspondent for The Nation and author of Allow Me to Retort, A Black Man's Guide to the Constitution. Tudor, do you think I'm being unfair to House Republicans on this one?
No, I think that they say they have this evidence. They want to have an inquiry into it, so they want to be able to investigate. And to be able to investigate, they have to open this inquiry, and people have voted for it. So I think that this is a good thing. He has the chance to prove that he didn't do anything wrong, too. So why wouldn't Joe Biden want this investigated?
But is that the way investigations start, with, like, no actual evidence, right?
But they say they have evidence.
Well, I know they say they have evidence, but every time they talk about it, the evidence...
Isn't that the way everything starts? They say they have evidence, and they investigate whether or not the evidence...
No, the way it usually starts, I would think, is they have a piece of evidence, right? Something credible, right, let's say. And they say, okay, this is kind of dangerous, this is scary, whatever it is. We got to look into this further.
That's what I've heard.
Well, all I've heard so far, Anthony Scaramucci, is, and I really don't know what you think about this, by the way, is all I've heard is Hunter Biden bad. Hunter Biden did things bad. James Biden was doing business in China, et cetera, and they repaid some loans to Joe Biden, and as a result, we're going to open up an impeachment inquiry. Am I being unfair?
I don't think you're being unfair, but also there's a burden of proof element to this as well, right? He's innocent until proven guilty. They have a very high threshold with the president. They probably are not going to get it through.
What do you make of the inquiry, the whole...
I think it's a specious inquiry.
You do?
I disagree with it. I'm a Republican, and I'm a lifelong Republican, and unfortunately, we've really damaged our party. I don't think this helps our party. You've gone through a couple of different House speakers. You are in a food fight in the Republican Party over where the direction of it's going to go. We are the smallest party in the union now. We've got less than 28% of the registered voters. The Democrats are bigger, and the independents are way bigger than that. Instead of focusing on this, why not go after all these people that are no longer in our party?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.